Welcome to the Sunshine Coast Wildlife Project woodshop. This is where we assemble and basically cut all the pieces for screech owl boxes. We do bat houses here, etc. Today we're going to assemble one of the kits for the screech owl box. This is what a completed unit looks like, roughly. When you get your kit, it'll probably be bundled up like this with some instruction kit with it. As well, there'll be a bundle of screws, and there may or may not be glue included, but we are using Elmer's interior-exterior wood glue here. It is a non-toxic glue. Don't worry about skin contact with it because of its non-toxic nature. However, if there are any concerns, I suggest that you wear painter's gloves, latex gloves work fine. When you get the kit and take it apart, I recommend that you separate two pieces. Initially, there's the front door, which is pretty obvious, it's got the hole in it. Put that aside, and then the biggest piece in the kit is going to be the back. This unit here, that goes on towards the end as well, so let's set that aside. You'll find a piece like this that has a number of holes in it. This forms the bottom of the box itself, the nesting box, and those holes are for ventilation and drainage. You also find another a piece that has a bevel cut on it. This constitutes the roof, and there will be two side pieces. Now your kit may or may not be of this material. This material here is sanded one side, so there is a rough side and a smooth side. Future kits may be rough on both sides, but at any rate, they're going to be cut with a bevel like this, flat edge on one part. So let's start off with, the only reason I mentioned that is because on the future kits, these would be reversible. So that you can have a rough side out on both sides. But take a look for the pilot holes. They are countersunk, and that will give you an indication of what side the screw has to go in on. We're using 1 5/8 coated deck screws. They are a socket head. They take a number 2, which is a red-handled screwdriver. Fits nicely in these. This is a cedar material, so it's very, very easy to drive the screws into. Since there is a pilot hole on one side, it will make fastening that much easier. Okay, let's start off with one of the side pieces. It doesn't matter which side you start off with. I'm going to start off here with the left side of the box. All right, so you can see that they're countersunk on this side. And even though the pilot hole goes right through, it's not countersunk. Countersunk is just the little indentation to allow for the screw head. All right, how do we orient this? Well, it's kind of a no-brainer. That's wrong. This is right. So we want the long side oriented vertically like this, so that you have a smaller gap here than you would this way. Okay, so let's just line that up like this. We want it flush on the bottom, so just run your finger along the side and see that it's even up and down. We're going to take a screw and just drive that in. Doesn't take a lot of force. There we go. Okay, I'm going to switch over to this tool here. It makes it a lot easier to put these screws in. Now, this isn't rehearsed. I forgot to add a little bit of glue to this surface in here. So let's put a bead of glue on there. Just spread it out with your finger. Thanks for nice contact. Okay, here we go again. This time I'm going to use the power tool. And someone knocking at the door. There we go. Now it's nice to make sure that we've got a nice flush surface all the way around, because it would just make the overall fit that much easier. We're going to do the second side. So let's put a bead of glue on that other surface like this. There we go. Let's set it on its back. By the way, we want to orient these slopes so that they match up. Alright, so the short side goes to the top. There we go. So we have a three-sided U-shaped box now, or it's forming a box. Next we're going to put the roof on. So we want to orient this angle there so that it matches up with the angle on the roof. So we're going to set it up so that when you set the lid on, it forms a straight edge along the back here. And we want to ensure that this meets nicely at the back here, so it's all flush. Nice way to do that is to just set it on its back. Again, we're going to put a bead of glue on this surface. Line up the bottom first, make sure that it's fitting flat on the surface. And let's put a screw in there. Okay, so we just make sure that that's nice and flush along the side there. This side here, we just spring it open a little bit, make sure that it's sitting nice and flat. There we go. There's the box. Now we're going to take the back and install it. So in order to do that, let's lay this thing front side down. And now this back has marks on it to allow you to centralize the cabinet on the back. So this mark here, we just line that up with the bottom, like that. Sure that you're nice and flush all along the side there. remaining piece is the door now. That we've got a basic box. Obviously we're going to orient the hole to the top. This door is designed to open. So to act as hinges, we're just going to place a screw on either side at the top of the door. The easiest way to do that is to put the box on its side, place the door flush to the bottom, and then holding the door flush to the front, we're going to put a screw in here. Like that. Turn over to the other side. Place another one like so. Now we have an opening door with a ventilation gap at the top and a closure screw at the bottom here as well. These nesting boxes tend to work best when they're painted dark. There's a number of reasons for that. I won't go into it. We have all kinds of information on that on our website. I would, however, recommend using a water-based stain, latex preferably. There is lots of information on our website concerning best practices in terms of placement, and if you have any questions, I would suggest contacting us because we can offer you lots of advice on how to get lovely screech owls to nest in your boxes. You got all this trouble to assemble this, and we thank you for that. Now, adhering to some of the best practices in terms of placement will get you the best results. Thank you very much. Good luck.